family, welcome back. And on today's podcast, I have a good friend who has gone from working in a factory to building one of the largest distribution networks in the Eastern Cape. So if you are looking to learn how to generate an extra 1,000 or even 10K, etc., then you have basically come to the right place. With me in studio, Mr. Shane Jeneker. Shane, hoe gaat het?
Good, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for taking the time out to actually be here.
It's a pleasure. No, it's an entire pleasure because we've learned to know each other over the years.
Yes. How far do we go back? It's what? 20... It's either 2014 or 2015. Yeah, I can still remember.
10, just more than 10 years. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a journey. I remember you with SDL.
Yeah. Because that was actually when things started, because SDL was the first company where I learned to actually make commission. Because I remember I'm a construction worker, and how I think is I lay this tile and I get paid for that. But as soon as I learned I can sell a product and make a commission on it, that's when my mind, like, it was like my aha moment.
But I think that's what everybody thinks when they do go into business.
Yeah.
When they get that sense of, look, I'm here for 10 hours a day.
Yes.
Now it takes you to, I make more on the side.
Yeah.
When can I take the leap? That's a question.
That's a big thing.
When do you take the leap?
Because in South Africa today, you mentioned earlier some of the big companies. What are the companies that are
Mercedes-Benz
closing
closed
doors?
down. Goodyear closed down. Aspen retrenching. Where's security? Can we say that we're secure? Can you say if you go and study, within the next 10 years you're going to have a job? You don't know.
There's no
because the
guarantee.
fields are changing all the time.
Yes.
15 years ago, you went to study HR. Is there HR job today? No.
Is that also disappearing?
It's disappearing. Everything is disappearing. So, my philosophy is that schooling is a system.
Yes.
Designed for slavery. If we look at it in that sense, everybody who goes to study, they become something. A doctor can't be a lawyer.
Okay.
A nurse can't be a teacher.
Yes.
So we guided in one direction.
Yeah.
And I've learned that over years that the more you put in at school, the better your focus becomes.
The more
to where
narrow.
you're going to. You become more narrow. Your mindset
Yes.
is narrowed. You can become a doctor in something. Yes, you can. You can become something, but it's not for everybody.
Yes.
But if you're creative enough, entrepreneurship is a much better option.
Yeah.
It doesn't take any education. It just takes raw skill,
Now,
learning from others.
I respect graduates, and I have spoken to many, and in fact in some of my programs I have people who have masters, who have degrees, etc. But overall, people would, especially, I don't speak about like income potentials necessarily to graduates, because a graduate, remember, you studied for 5 years, 4 years, and here comes a construction worker only has matric, or if they know me from my Uber driving days, an Uber driver to tell me that I can generate on the side more than what my degree. Because remember, when you have a degree, you feel that sense of you've reached something. I should be in the middle class, but the middle class is disappearing. So it's either you here or you there. But I don't want us to run into that. People want.
Yes, but if you look at it, you still have to be a salesman.
Sure, you sell yourself, but you have one
to sell
client
yourself.
only.
You have to sell yourself. If you don't, you can go and study to become a doctor. But if you're gonna sit and wait for someone to give you the job, you're not gonna get it.
Sure.
So you have to first sell yourself.
Yes.
So sales is basically it's built in.
I've actually put something up yesterday on my socials, and I said we are all salespeople. So we sell our wives on marrying us. We have been sold to wear Ray-Bans or Oakley because we have seen it, or we sell ourselves in an interview, etc. You know, why I'm the best person for the position. So I know that we hit the road running, but I would like for people to actually be able to identify and say, you know what, um, anyone can actually do this. So let us in on yeah, how was your schooling? You obviously grew up in Port Elizabeth, and what has your journey been like?
For me, schooling, I used to like going to school, not for learning, but for friends. I
Yeah,
used to
it's
like to
immense,
interact.
immense.
I used to like to interact. That was my reason for going to school. I never stayed out of school. Today's children, they stay out of school because they don't like going to school. I don't know, is it
Mm.
what complexes they have? But uh, I don't know if I can. I didn't have a learning disability. I never failed a term on school, but I never used to study.
Yeah.
I used to take note of what someone is saying. I was a listener. So if you give me information, I absorb it, and later I'll just have to read once and say, okay, no, I understand. So that was my theoretical side.
Sure.
I was heavy into soccer. Soccer was my life.
Yeah.
Everything.
Even still today.
Still till today, it's something that's through. It goes through my. It's in my blood, man.
Sure.
So. Work-wise, after school, I went to go and study against my
Okay.
will.
Against your will?
Against my will.
Why,
Because
why do you say that?
for me, I didn't like the books, man. It wasn't something that stuck with me. I studied, I did electrical, mechanical, did fitting and turning, I did welding, I did practical courses. I even did my BA, BA ambulance. It wasn't something that I wanted to do.
Wow.
Go and do something. You must do something to get the job. You must do this. I worked.
You were
all
told
over.
this?
I was told,
Yeah.
and I used to do, I had probably like 30 jobs before ending up at,
Okay.
I think it was at that time, it was Delphi. That's where I had my first long contract of work.
Okay.
I had a job once where I was in the Messelaar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Construction.
Construction.
So you know what it's to say.
look, I worked for like 3 weeks. Now I worked at VW. We subcontracted for Autocast.
Mm.
Ons het lekker gepay.
Yeah.
Look, you go home at the end of the week, 2,000 rand.
And it was a lot bigger.
Yeah. I get to this construction job. Do the job, do this hard labor, man. Yo. Did the job, after the job. Now it's going home now. It's Friday. Now we get our envelopes. I'm sitting in the middle at the back in the car. Open my envelope, check.
Something wrong here.
Yes. It's 20 rand notes, man.
Okay.
But it's 10 notes, man. I'm checking, okay, maybe it's like a back pay. It's a day's pay.
Sure. Yes.
That's the owens next to me is excited here.
Uh,
Hy sê nee, is fortnight moenie worry nie. Jy kry net die 1 week se geld uit. 1 week se geld. Are you serious, guys? Nee, moenie worry nie. Jonas is 'n bietjie minder as ons. Is it 200 rand in 'n envelope for a week's work? They get 250 now. They excited nee.
250 for the week now.
For the week,
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
yo, this is not gonna work.
Yeah.
The next week, the oom come klop for me. I say no ways.
And they say you're
Uncle,
lazy.
I'm not going to work there. I'm not. It wasn't about that. There was no motivation.
Yeah.
You come from a job where you earn 2,000 a week to 200 rand a week where you worked way harder. And I said, no, man, I can't. I'll rather go and work somewhere else. And I got a job at Delphi. It was also through soccer. I played industrial for them, organized
Sure.
me the job. Okay, got in there. And then I got a job at Coke. Started at Coke. Worked there probably a year, became a shop steward, learned a lot about the trade and everything. The laws of labor law, basically, and I took it very seriously.
Yeah.
But that caused me to hit the ceiling. There was no way, there was no other way. I couldn't get study assistance, I couldn't get nothing because I was saving people's jobs. Nobody lost their jobs under my watch. And that was something that the company didn't like.
Yes.
So
yes.
I was up against management, but when I leave the office, it's nothing. We're still the same. Just like you do your job as a manager, I did my job as a shop steward, and I did my job. But that became a thorn in their side. Probably 7 years at Coke, and then a friend of mine phoned me. Hey, don't you wanna sell perfume for me? I said, sell perfume? Me, my bro. Perfume? Are you serious? No worries. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm night shift that week. Anyways, I decided, okay, on my way to work, I must pass his house. I said, okay, look, I'm gonna help you. Gives me the samples, I take it to work. Everybody knows me, so I speak to Lucian, I speak to that one, I speak to that one. Everyone is now saying, no, Shane is selling perfume.
Yeah.
Hey, first night, 20 sales. I said, no, man. For that first, surely, for the first month, I probably sold about 70 or so. Yeah. But I wasn't making a profit, I was helping someone.
Yes.
And he said to me, no, put add onto it. I said, no, man, all right. And it went on like that for a while. Few months down the line, and then he said, no, man, he's now not going to do it anymore. I got involved. And then contacted the supplier, and it went on. We started a relationship. Our relationship became so good that he couldn't wait for me to get to Cape Town. It's every 3 months, when you're coming up, then they fly me up and down. The one weekend we had a wedding here, but I was up there for training. Flew me up Wednesday, Friday, fly back for the wedding, Sunday morning, fly again with my wife up. So we had a lekker time, and it was...
Business is fun.
Yeah, business was fun, and I enjoyed it. But the main thing, what was important for me was seeing someone else also get somewhere.
Sure.
Like, my pitch to someone would never be...
to sell them a perfume.
I'm not selling the perfume. If I'm selling you an idea.
Yes.
I'm giving you an opportunity.
Yes.
And for me, it was like, if I make it 10 rand and you make a 50 rand, there's a 50 rand to be split. I give you the 40 rand, I take the 10 rand.
Yeah.
But I don't only have you doing that. And that was my philosophy, that I needed to spread it to a whole lot of people so that I could get somewhere.
That was the same for me. So I started I used to be a loan shark back then. So this one week, this person comes and he needs to pay me. So he comes to my house at around about 5 a.m. We go to the ATM, but I can smell, hey, this guy smells fresh, man. And I give him all of these compliments, etc. And he tells me, you know what, I can actually give you one of those, because I remember he's now obviously trying to build a relationship with me. And I was like, no, thank you, man, I'll pay you for this. How much is it? Then he tells me the price. I was like, wow. So I can smell like this for a fraction of the price that other people normally pay. So I tell him, no, pay me 2 next week. And then he brought it. And then I continually got compliments for smelling fresh. I was like, I remember I'm just learning entrepreneurship. I was like, bro, if people are giving me compliments, then obviously the next question should be, should I get you? And then what I can still remember, I asked him, the person that you are buying from, can you please get me that person's number? I can't still remember. It's a long time ago, 10 years ago. And that person led me to you. And then it was history. Because I also have the same philosophy. If I can make a 10 rand, and you are, for instance, going to sell it to the next person and make $40, you have put in the work.
Yes.
And then what I've done was, because I know that I can walk into any office now or into any shop with this samples, and if I have people smell it, I won't walk out of there with less
Without-
than five orders, and once I learned the power of actually putting in front of people's faces what they actually are already buying or what they already want, then I have then nothing stands between me and my financial goals. Guys, for those of you who would like to see this is basically the sample. So this is what I use. I go into even to my friend, I just leave that there with them, smell there. So they will choose whichever one, and then I will get orders, and that is how I've built the business. So that is why when I called you up, I was like, give me 10 sample bags because I want to give 10 people this so they can go out, they make their $40 and I make my 10, and that is how the basically the network has grown. But not everyone is open to this because sometimes people feel like, you know what, it's a bit degrading to be selling. And what I've picked up is that you were like, no, there's no way I'm selling a perfume. But what has changed in your mind where you now really started to consider actually doing this?
Look, sales was never my forte.
Uh,
I had a complex, I think, rejection.
yeah,
I couldn't take rejection.
Yeah,
Sales has got a lot to do with rejection.
sure.
So for me, it was, if I come to you with something, I expect you to buy it.
Say yes, yeah.
But it's never going to work. That's never going to work. Look, life doesn't work that way where I come to you and you just take it.
Sure.
I'm going to have to take rejection. So I had to change my mindset to taking rejection, but also look, selling perfume. At that time, it wasn't a big thing. Like now you'll hear there's a lot of people doing it.
People are
but
more
back then
open
it was,
now to doing it, yeah.
back then I didn't know anyone that sold perfume.
Sure.
And here I'm now starting this thing. And it just started to escalate. But I can't put my finger on how it actually grew that far or that fast.
Yes.
There's something more to it. I always there's a spiritual side to it. God elevates us. We can't do it on our own.
No, definitely.
And for me, it was always to think, why me? How? Person had never thought about sales. Never ever wanted to venture into that. I had opportunities to go and work in sales. I would even with this code calling, 2 rejections, I leave a job.
Yeah.
How many times did I get into those jobs and I left it because I couldn't take rejection? But taking rejection first like this was a bit worse.
Yeah.
Because on the phone, person you don't know the person.
Sure.
Person doesn't know you, they can't see you. But now here you're up front. But then I thought, okay, wait first. Let me first try it with people that I know and build the confidence. You're going to have one that say, hey, not this month. That's a rejection.
Sure.
But it was like a confidence booster.
Yes.
Every time you get the rejection, it's like, okay, no. But not everybody has to take. And so you learn, okay, no, rejection is part of it.
It's part
So you
of
have
life.
you have to embrace the rejection also.
Yeah.
And that's how I started to grow.
I heard you mentioning God there. So you do believe in God?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
what role has He played in your journey as an entrepreneur? Or as a person? Because I mean, you're a father, you're married.
Firstly, I'm God-fearing. There's nothing. I don't have to go to church to be a God-fearing person. I read the Bible. I don't need to quote every scripture. But I know who I believe in. I believe in there's a power that is higher than me. I believe that there's divinity within all of us.
Sure.
God
Yes,
placed
yes. He made us in His
God
likeness.
placed that person in my life
Yeah.
so that I could get somewhere. Everybody is strategically placed. That's
Sure.
my viewpoint. I can't see that it's just chance.
But too far.
No. God can't come here and say, Shane, here's a glass of water for you. He needed Lucian to give me the glass of water because Lucian is in control of the water. So in what God does, He works into the spirit. So that's my belief,
Sure.
very strong belief, and that's why I know it's easier to give to someone than to take from someone. I've got a very different philosophy when it comes to business, especially with our products. I
Okay.
wouldn't sell someone something that I haven't tried. I used to
Okay.
walk around with nail polish. People
Yeah,
used to,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what is, I used to put it on these two nails just to prove to myself that this is worth selling to someone. Every product, I've tried it on my hair. I never used to have long hair.
Yeah, yeah.
I tried it and it
Beard
worked. So
oil.
beard oil, everything I've tried. And if something doesn't work for me, I'll never sell it to someone. Never ever. I wouldn't be able to do it.
That's the same for me because out of all of the products, if you will notice that I don't order nail polish because yeah, that's just my belief in terms of so I stay away from that, for instance, because of my belief, and as a result, I don't obviously then sell it. I wouldn't sell something that I wouldn't use. And I think that, and that is why it is actually so easy to sell the products. It's because people who doesn't like smelling fresh.
Everybody
You know?
likes it. And
So now before like the rejection, I feel like the rejection is much lower here because you are now on the other end because now the person can obviously buy the product at a fraction of the price that they normally pay. But now you are now in the place of being able to reject people because the person that, for instance, is used to spending, let's say, 20 rand on their spray, I wouldn't necessarily force that person to buy because you're gonna have a problem to actually pay for that because you're used to paying 29. But I mean the person who's used to paying a couple of thousands to smell as fresh as the products, it's a no-brainer for them. So now it is more like I didn't come to the person and basically he didn't come to me and tell me he wants to sell me this product. I smelled out, he smelled, and as a result, I then inquired, and that is what is actually happening with these products. Which so the rejection barrier is much lower than with other products.
yeah. And the smell, someone smells you and they say, okay, I think, what is it?
Yeah.
No, it's listeners. No, I sell it. Already you have a sale.
Sure.
Just based on what your product is not something you can see.
Yeah.
Like I need to show you the bottle. You
Yeah,
just smell it.
you
It's
smell it.
losing a different scent,
Sure.
a different sense. So it became easier as
Yeah.
time went on,
Okay,
and
yeah, I
the
get
compliments you get, the compliments you
See,
get, you.
smell. Yeah.
So you also get hearing because the referrals is hearing.
Sure.
So you get now the seeing, the smelling, and the hearing. Then you get someone telling someone else.
Yes.
So all our senses are incorporated in what I've learned with perfume. Someone taught me one day. It was a big sales tool that I used.
Okay.
If someone asks me, what perfume can I use? I generally ask if I don't know you, if I don't know who you're buying it for, what's the person's age,
Yes.
what's the person's character,
Yes.
because you're not going to give a loud perfume to someone who's
Yes.
an introvert.
Sure.
Then there was, what does the perfume do for you? The perfume, like you can use a Dolce & Gabbana light blue. It's going to give you a fresh smell. It's going to give you
Yeah.
just a subtle confidence. Then you get home by Galeen. It's a powerful,
Yeah.
you bold, you feel bold. It enhances your
Bakla
confidence.
Rabban, like-
Yes, it enhances your confidence, man. So the different sense plays a different role in your moods.
Sure.
It can enhance your mood.
Sure.
So if you're feeling down, but you need to be up there for
Yes.
the day, then you use a certain scent.
Sure.
And that is how I used to sell it to people.
Wow.
And it's amazing how people actually give you a compliment on something that you do as, which is basically it's part of your job, but someone else taught it to you.
Yeah.
So you've learned something new, and someone's now amazed by what you're saying. But when they actually get to see, hey, but it's true what this person is saying, and they utilize it, and it can change your whole life.
But the line of business is not, it's not all roses.
No, no,
You
no,
must
no.
have faced challenges. What are some of
You
the challenges that you
challenges. Remember, we worked with agents, ne?
faced? Okay.
If I can say I've lost a couple of millions
Yeah.
over the years, that's probably the amount.
Yeah. But you've
But
made more.
you've made more. That's
As
the
long as
risk.
the
Man.
ratio-
That's
yes,
the risk.
yes.
The biggest problem came when you had someone jump you with a big amount of money. Man.
Yeah.
10,000. It's not like yo. What can you do with 10,000 for a month? Remember, you have to replace the 10,000. So we were at the point where sales was very high. We were doing very, very well. And sometimes you could write off a 300 rand,
Yeah.
500 rand.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be,
Yeah.
you wouldn't even feel it, man. But then, COVID hit us hard. I think every business.
Yeah.
For businesses
Not
still to
every
stand.
business though. My coaching business escalated in COVID, but it's a digital product. So yeah.
Yeah, there's like a small margin of businesses that actually went
Yes.
took
Yes.
the other
Yes.
trajectory.
Yes. But overall, wow.
Overall, because if you look at what it's done for big companies,
Sure. In fact, people are still feeling the pain.
still feeling the pain now
after
because
effects.
remember, so a lot of people had to go make loans, and repaying the loans is like it's still happening now 5 years later. So it didn't help. It didn't help much when you look at your normal situation is, yeah, you earn 10,000. Now you come to a point, short time, it's no work. You're earning 8,000, so you make now accommodation because your whole lifestyle is according to the 10,000. So now you have to. There's a 2,000 barrier.
Sure.
You have to know how do you
Adjust.
cover that variance. You make a loan. Work doesn't get much better. It slightly increases. So
Yeah.
over the next 3 years, you didn't increase in your income. So what happens to the loan? The loan just says, okay, no. Interest. At the end of the day, you're paying the loan, you're still on the same amount that you took out.
Yes, you're continuously paying.
You're just paying.
Yeah.
And that's what COVID did to a lot of people. And that affects other businesses.
You spoke about not actually being able to increase your income or not doing it fast enough. So suppose like when you start a job. So when I started, I also earned like $20 per day. But then it went from that to 50. So then I thought, you know what, if I get to 100 would be fine per day. But one can't live of that anymore. So you now need to make a decision. Are you going to lower your quality of life, or are you going to increase your income? And most of us, we tend to do nothing. But gradually, we have less money left at the end of the month. And afterwards, you have more money left than money. But because we have been programmed in the education system to only have one customer, having a job, and it's a bit humiliating to put yourself out there and to sell things. So then we gradually we like, see, no man, it's not the same. I thought if when I earn this, and a lot of people can relate to this now, because when they got to what they are doing, especially if they're doing it for long enough, that was enough then, even though it has increased, but the quality of life
Had to decrease.
had to
But not
decrease.
because you wanted to.
Yeah.
Just decrease because I look at it like this. I'll always tell a youngster who's starting to work, when you start to work, remember you started with nothing. Now you're earning 10,000.
Yes.
So now you go and create a lifestyle
Of
to the
10K.
value of 10,000. But remember that next year, when there's increment, they give you another 500 rand. But your lifestyle should have went up with another 1,500 because the bread went up, the petrol went up,
Yes.
this went up, everything
Rent.
else went up. So your lifestyle already forced its way to 1,500, but yet you're only getting a 500. So what do you do now? You're at the deficit of 1,000 rand every month for a whole year. The next year, the same thing happens. So if you don't get a promotion at work that gives you more money,
Yeah.
what are you going to do? Run into debt. Whereas, rather take on a side hustle. You start with the people that work around you. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
people, there was a stigma before around the word hustle. Hustle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hustle used to be like almost like a gangsterish term.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But then we've actually changed the word side hustle.
Yes.
It made it seem so okay. No, you're accommodating everybody now. Man.
Sure.
And that is where I think our youngsters should actually start while they're at school. Doesn't matter what it is.
My boys are in the process now of starting businesses, and they're like 16, 15.
But that's good because you're an entrepreneur yourself.
Sure.
It's difficult for someone who's a laborer to tell the children start a side hustle because they don't know what it's about.
I may get a hate for this, but I haven't found the right words on how to say it. That's why I didn't make the post as yet, but I was gonna write something about it, because as parents we sell our children on finding the perfect job in an office, and some of us are working in offices, but we don't like where we are finding ourselves. But we sell our children on the idea of everything will be 100% once you find that. Because when I was made the branch manager of a specific company, then only I realized. Luckily, I fell out of college at 6 months. I can imagine if I invested 5 years of studying and getting that job, only to realize I don't want to be here. You know? So at the end of the day, obviously, a very small percentage of people love what they are doing. Very, very small. Most people, they would have wanted to do something else. And I always say that going into business, maybe yes, it's your passion, or maybe you enjoy what you're doing, but that doesn't define you as a person. Because I mean, if a person knows you from soccer, they only think of you as coach. Or if they know you from church, it's pastor or brother, or and likewise, in business I see it as a vehicle. So this vehicle, if there's, let's say I want to start a bakery. A bakery needs equipment, it needs funding, etc. Now you can start a side hustle that has a potential to make an extra, let's say if you do it right, 5, 10, 20K, you make an extra 10K. Then you fund what you actually want to, because starting this, I think it's like, you can even start with zero, but starting with 400 bucks, just the samples, and then there you run. So the starting barrier is much lower, but it is a vehicle to get to where you actually want to be. And I'm sure that some are watching this are already asking, how can I get started? So guys, the website that you see on the screen, lucian.com, jeneker.com/agent. You can go there, click on it, and then the link is also in the description. Click on it, and then you go through a process to obviously find out whether you are best suited for this business opportunity. And then I will take you through the process, and then potentially you will be able to actually do this. So I faced challenges. You've faced challenges in business. We have spoken about it. But what I want to speak about now is because what separates a person generating extra $500 per month to a person making 15K per month. Obviously, I've reached that, so but I want for you to actually give the tips here for those. They could be selling anything out there, but yeah, especially this product. What works?
Look, let me say how I started it. I took it first. You sell your product. You make your profit.
Sure.
You gauge how much you're making.
Yeah.
And ask yourself, where do you see yourself in the next X amount of years? I sold at the stage I was selling, making 5 times my salary.
Sure.
Then I asked myself, 9 hours, I'm here, there, outside, and inside, wherever I am,
Yeah.
I'm making that money. So why am I still sitting here?
Yes.
I can apply that 9 hours there
Yes.
and imagine what I can make more.
Sure.
So nobody knows what you put in,
Yes.
the effort you put in, the risk that you take. When you're going out to sell, you must be confident about what you're selling.
Yeah.
You can't sell something that you don't
You
believe
don't
in.
know. Yeah. Or
If you don't
know
believe in
anything
it,
about
if you don't
yes,
believe in it,
people can see it in your body language.
yeah. You know, we used to, we went once to East London.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's things like those. I used to do Grahamstown, Jeffreys Bay, wherever I was excited when I was there.
Sure.
Just putting myself out there.
Someone
look,
shouldn't
it's-
only look at Port Elizabeth.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
look at family. I send stuff to Joburg, wherever, even to Cape Town also.
Sure.
It's also relationships that you build.
Yeah.
Don't sell something to someone and just leave them at it. No, you
Work
sold it. It's klaar verkoop. No after sales, nothing. You don't ask him how
You
was the
don't build
product.
business.
You don't. You need to engage again with the person because
Sure.
that person is now a client.
Yeah.
Could be a client for life.
This is actually important what you are sharing here now, because some people, they ends when we spoke about side hustle, maybe that type of thinking limits the person, because when I introduced you, I said you built one of the largest distribution networks. So when a person looks at, nothing wrong with the word side hustle, but building a distribution network. So now whoever bought perfumes by you this month, in a month's time, you call them up on a few weeks, how's it going, etc. Because now that thing is nearing to get done now. In 2 months' time, that thing will be done. Then they need a new supply. But now you've built a relationship. So you must have admin as well, that factor as well, especially if you want to build big in terms of, let's say, 10K, 20K, 30K, etc. But if you're just going to think it's luck because a person bought once, a person that bought once can actually be your client for life.
On that, if I don't check up on you,
Yeah,
I don't know if you like the product or not.
sure.
You could have had a defect product.
Yeah,
It happens to any company.
sure.
Big motoring companies recall cars because of defects. It's
Yeah.
not something that it doesn't happen. It
Sure.
happens. It's just a fault. It's a mistake that has been made somewhere along the line. So now I don't know if the product is still, if the spray mechanism is still working. If it's not working, you spray it once or twice, it's not working. Now I don't engage with you at all. You upset for me on that side because this thing is not working, but you're afraid to tell me.
Yeah.
But now I engage with you, and now you tell me, yes, they have this thing here standing here. I had to go buy my other spray now because this thing is not working. Oh. Now I have the opportunity to tell you, no, bring it back. Let's
Yeah.
Now I didn't lose the customer. I could have lost the customer.
Yeah.
One customer. Even if I'm selling it at 100 Rand, it's 100 Rand over 12 months. It's 1,200.
Sure.
Over 5 years, it's 6,000 Rand. So I lost 6,000 Rand over 5 years. Imagine I lose 106,000 Rands.
Yeah.
The mindset that we have is that, no, it's only that amount. It's never just that. We're not selling Ferrari. You sell one Ferrari, that person's not going to take another Ferrari for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So we need to open our mindsets to our clients being important. They're always important. Always, if for me it's someone would give me flack about something, how do I remedy it? I give you a new product, or if you say the spray is not working, thing is new, give it to me. I'll sort it out for you.
Sure.
But it's always the relationship that you build. You're continuously building the relationship. It's not a once-off thing.
Nah.
It's not me going to ShopRite and going to buy by ShopRite. ShopRite's not going to send me a message to ask that I enjoy the product. I have the ability to engage with you.
Build a relationship.
And also, not only that, tomorrow you're working somewhere. The relationship is of such a nature that I can ask you about something that I need where you're working.
Sure.
So it's continuously building relationships. Never disregarding that person's thoughts or their emotions.
I know many agents, most of their sales comes from the workplace.
Yes.
Factories. Maybe working in
It's the safest place.
etc. Yeah, because you see them every day.
Yes. If I sell it to someone on the street, I might not see them in there. My money goes if I gave it to them on a consignment base.
Sure.
When it comes to the growth of the business, we're slowly taking upward trajectory.
Yeah.
After a few years, but it's going to take a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Because remember that there's more players in the game now.
Sure. Like with Uber, Uber didn't have much competition when it started, etc. Shane, I just want to correct something. People, especially me, we multitask. So people could have listened, but not as. Could have heard, but not have listened. So they heard something about $100. So some would think $100, but you've made an example.
That was just an example.
An example maybe of $200. Because we were like, okay, no, he said it is.
No, but he said it's like, no, that was just an example.
Sure.
Yeah.
Would you say that someone is born an entrepreneur?
We all are.
Are we all born entrepreneurs? But are a lot of people believe that?
No, we all are born.
Why do you say so?
Remember, as a child, you're creative.
Okay.
And then what happens? You go to school and you become cultivated. Your mind is cultivated to do this. This is how you must do it. So, what happens? You're switching off slowly the creativity. When you at school, you do art.
Yeah,
but they only give it to you at a certain stage. And then they take it away from you. So that is what happens. We all are born with the ability to sell a product. Because if you can sell yourself, you can sell a product. You're able to generate. Remember, if you can generate a friend, a friendship circle, you can generate an income. It is what you want out of it. It is just with some of us, we take on the culture of education, and then somewhere along the line, we shaken, man. Something shakes us and say, something went wrong along the way. And then we start to tap into that. Yeah, slowly but surely. And you'll see at some stage, no, man, but that thing wasn't for me. Education is not for everybody. It's like you'll have a parent who won't send their child to West, who refuses to send their child to a Westview. Why? The child has a learning disability. Learning was not designed for everybody.
Yeah, you can't.
But yet, as a parent, you feel now your child must go to Alex. But no.
You can't judge a fish based on how quick it can run.
Or just that is in the water. No.
Yeah.
That child can go and learn a skill.
Yes.
At that school. And then apply it somewhere. But now you send the child and the child fails. Child becomes, I'm a failure. Whose fault was it?
Yeah.
It's not the child's fault. It's partial parent, partial system. So entrepreneurship is within us.
No.
I wouldn't say that it's entrepreneurship. I would call it creativity.
Creativity, yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what you're selling.
Sure.
You need to be creative enough to make someone else interested in it.
I'm not one of those parents who believe that, you know what, you must have a matric and you must go to college, etc. So I have A students in my household, but then I also have like those who you can see, schooling isn't my
Isn't a forte, yeah.
you know. But then I was like, guys, okay, let's start businesses for you, because I can't go to your mother empty-handed. You must give me something. So let's start these businesses, make 20K a month or more, and then I can go and say, hey, most these guys don't want to go to school anymore. So if they spend more time on this, but I know most people would disagree with that kind of thinking. However, I have, in my programs, I have so many matriculants. I have not as many matriculants, but I have people with degrees and all of those kind of things. Understanding, not that it is useless. It is not useless. Because obviously, like if I had a degree, maybe my English would be better. And I didn't have to warn you before the podcast and say, hey, you don't go with that English, you keep it here, Northern Areas English. But I'm not those kind of parents who say, you know what, or what society say, you must do things this way, etc. Like you're saying, creativity.
But why do you think you are that parent?
Because I've been that guy. I grew up in a household where I was forced to actually have a degree, and that is the only way to success. In fact, my mother wanted me to be a male nurse. But if we were to speak now about blood, without me even seeing it, in my mind I see it. That's why I don't go to hospitals frequently. Even just speaking about it for too long, and then I would faint. I can't take blood. If I see it, then it's even much worse. But my mother forced me. She wanted me to be a male nurse, only to find out that that was her goal.
Passion, yeah.
She didn't achieve that, becoming a nurse, and then she wanted to, I'm like the last hope. I must do this, etc. So I know what it's like to pass and come to your parents, and then your parents will say, but you can do better than this. I also didn't study at school, but I was still a C student. But I know I could have been an A student, but school was just, like you say, you didn't study, but you went to school, you were there for the friends and, socialize. So, even though people know that I'm not now saying that people that are in school, children watching this, no, go to school. It's much better with the education. Please don't go and tell your parents you must adapt out the school. However, it improves. It can improve who you are, but you can also be programmed narrow and lose who you actually really are.
Your
I know
identity.
people that study for one year this, then next year that, then for 2 years that, then they always studying.
They never give up studying.
Yeah.
I say, because we're not all academics,
Yeah.
there is another opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't shoot down academia.
Yes.
I just say that it is a tool that is used to get us somewhere.
Yeah.
But there are other ways.
Yeah.
If we look at, even in our society, people who made it, generally there are people who didn't finish school.
Generally, yeah.
Because most of them, look, you study, what is the goal? You need to have a goal. Is your goal you want to make money? Or is your goal you want to have a comfortable life? Or is your goal you want to have fast cars? What is your goal? You should have a goal before you. Like for me, I just want to be comfortable. I don't mind the struggle, but I just want to be comfortable. My kids must know, okay, no, there's food in the fridge. They can eat. If it means that we go wherever we need to go, like we want to go out for a drive, we're able to do it.
Wanting to be comfortable, nothing wrong with it. The Word of God says we must be content. But I think that we haven't, too many people have a false understanding of what it takes to live a comfortable life. Because if you ask most people, do you want to be a millionaire? They say, no, I don't want to be a millionaire. I just want to be comfortable. But let's take $1 million. Put it aside. Now you ask the person, what does your dream house look like? No, I don't want a big house. I just want it like this. This. Okay. Now I look at that house. And your car? Okay. And what lifestyle should your family have? Where must your kids go to school? Now you count and you say, hey, but this stuff that you see as living comfortable, it's like 3 million. So now we will never get to that comfortability because we don't even aspire to have work towards about $1 million because we think, no, $1 million is a lot, but we haven't counted the cost. What does it take? That house that you think is comfortable. Okay, each child must have their homes. How much is that house? Which area do you want to stay? You want to stay in that area? You can't buy a house there with $1 million. You need 1.5, 1.7, 2 bars. So I think many dreams have not been realized. They say the graveyard is the most expensive piece of real estate because all the dreams that goes there in the name of I just want to be comfortable. I don't want to be rich. It's a sin.
I think there's a level of comfort, man.
Yeah.
If you haven't determined your level of comfort, then you're gonna fall short.
Yeah.
Like someone who works in a factory who's delusional, who believes that now we can afford a house in Lovemoor Heights.
Yeah.
The dream is always there, but what are you doing to curate the dream?
Sure.
You need to take the dream to the next level.
Sure.
If I'm working, I earn 10,000 Rand a month. But my dream is to have a house in Lovemoor Heights. Now, an uncle of mine passes away and he leaves me his house in Lovemoor Heights. Will I be able to maintain that house?
Never. people don't calculate what does heights and takes cost there. It's like
all
a
of
bond.
those things, all of those things play a part in your level of comfort. When you say you
Yes.
want it's a
Yes.
certain level of comfort. Some people would say, yeah, well, en hy koop sommer hier in die straat en by ons.
Yeah.
You buy the house in the street, yes. It was maybe 300,000.
Sure.
Buy the car, nee, ek soek net 'n gewone kar. 50,000. Children must go to school. They're going to Model C schools. You're looking at 3 children, 10,000 rand
10,000 per month.
per month.
Mm.
So now, what is your level of comfort?
Yes.
You can't just leave it at, no, I want to, that's all right, I will not die.
We must put the value to
There
it.
must be a value
You
to it.
must buy a value.
Because even the car that you have, it must be maintained.
Yeah.
The house that you're living in must be maintained. So you can't say with a 10,000 rand salary, you want to have a house and the children on proper schools.
Mm-mm.
You can call it proper schools. So
You know?
when you need to take on the side hustle.
Yes.
Once you start a job, you need to take on a side hustle.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to survive the next year
Yes.
without incurring debt.
Definitely. You know, I spoke to someone yesterday, and I said, like, when our parents grow up, if they had a profession, they had a degree, they could live off that. My mother used to earn 320 rand. I used to go do the grocery shopping 20 years ago when I was 18, 17. And I would go do the grocery shopping. So 20 years ago was what? It's 2025 now. So 2005, I would do the grocery shopping with 80 rand for myself, her, and my siblings. So we're 5 in the house. What can you do with 80 rand now?
You can't even go to the shop.
Yeah, you know. So at the end of the day, big. But let's say you had a profession, you earned a bit more than what my mother earned. Then you could sustain a family. But now people both parents are working, but still
Can't.
you know. So but the point that I want to bring out here is that I bought. In fact, I bought my first car cash, but I got financing for my first car by selling perfumes. So my side hustle. Remember when I told you, Shane, whatever income comes on a monthly basis, because the bank wants to see sustainability. So 1 month 15K comes in, 1 month 15K comes in, 1 month 15K comes in. There I go to the bank, I show them I'm selling perfumes on the side, I have a business going. There I bought a car. There are people watching this that are maybe not qualifying to buy a house or buy a car. But it is this very side hustle that has opened things for me.
Now, going to that point, that was one of the things that gave me more pleasure than even making the money.
Yes, to see me.
To see someone else getting somewhere, man.
Yeah.
Not all my influence, but
Sure. But you've played
I played a role
Yes.
somewhere along
Yes.
the. I've seen many success stories from here, and that is what
Share with us some of the success stories.
I'm a community orientated person.
Yeah. And you're so involved with the children, with soccer,
Yes, and
all of those things. Share with us some of the testimonials that people can relate.
Similar to your thing, where someone says, or I say, look, why don't you put the money away? Why are you eating the money all the time?
Yeah.
You're making half of your salary.
Yes.
So why don't you put the money away?
Yes.
The person put the money away. No, I just said it. I didn't. I never got feedback.
You didn't know that they're gonna.
They were actually doing it. Put the money away. 2 years, 6 months.
Yeah.
Bought the car.
Hi.
Kom die van nou met 'n kar.
Hey daar.
Upgrade. Promotion ra. No, I listened to what you said. I put the money away. No finance. No cash. Really? Yeah. 2 years and 6 months. Another one. More or less the same. They bought a house.
Hey
With,
nah.
look, it's 6,000 rand a month.
Yeah.
Every month for I don't know how long it was, but they bought the house and they were paying basically on. So the husband and the wife was selling at work and the husband was selling at work.
Yeah.
So together they had 6 to 10,000 rand every month
Yeah.
that they were making for themselves. And if you look at the wages, it doesn't compare to someone, but it's people bought in his house.
Ja.
How did they afford
Nou
the
wonder
house?
die mense by die werk, maar hoe kan jy
Hoe
dan
kan
nou
hulle-
huis gekom het?
Hoe kan hulle huis?
Dan hy smokkel.
Die man doen iets verkeerd.
Yes.
Something
Yes.
is selling drugs or
Especially
something.
our people, yeah.
That's the mindset.
Sure.
But it's how you apply yourself, man.
Sure.
If you say this is what I want,
Mm.
yes, we can make extra money to chow lekker, to party, to do whatever. But if you set yourself a goal that, look, my work that I'm working for, my salary covers everything that I needed to cover.
Sure.
But now I've got the side hustle. But why must the side hustle become part of my salary?
Mm-mm.
It must
Finance something.
something else.
Yeah.
That's
Like I
what,
said
that's
earlier,
what the side hustle is about.
that's what I said earlier. The side hustle can finance your dreams, basically.
Yes.
Or the stuff that you can't get to on your basic.
Definitely.
salaries.
And that's what brings joy to your heart, man.
Yeah.
Look here, someone did something about it, man. Even if it was one, because I always believe that I don't have to change the whole community. I just
Sure.
have to change one, because
100%.
changing one person
Yeah.
changes a whole household.
Yes.
Because if there's a lighty that could have gone into gangsterism or into drugs or into
Sure.
whatever that was negative, if I had changed that lighty now becomes a positive contributor to his house.
Sure.
And it changes the whole household, because there's others that might come behind him and
And
see,
goes
hey,
for-
no,
yes.
hey, if he's doing this,
Then
and
I
that
can
is
do
that is how my mind operates. I
100%.
always need to give to someone that, even if it's just encouragement,
Yeah.
you find that one lighty, give him encouragement, and
You know what comes to mind now is that there are people watching this who maybe don't need a side hustle, but they can be that light, that beacon of light. Maybe they know a couple that could actually do with a side hustle, and they could actually become the person that plays a role in their success. But it will also help them personally. So all parties actually win. And yeah, that is basically just how I say it, because I mean, in today's world where people are losing their jobs, and it's just crazy. So, job security.
it's non-existent.
Is
It's
non-existent.
non-existent. we can't say that our jobs are secure. There, my wife is finishing off at the end of the month.
What?
Yeah, they were retrenched last year. They finished their work now again this year.
Yeah.
But there's no job security.
You know, the AI is not necessarily going to do your job, but the rate that AI is going, I can build a business and have one employee, then I make 50K a month.
You could do that, but
So many jobs are actually being are disappearing.
yeah, but I think that the big companies are missing the mark,
Who's
because
going to be the customers?
who's gonna be the customer?
Mm.
If you employ only robots, they're not gonna buy anything. Yes, they're gonna make a bit of money, but how sustainable will your business be? because you're gonna have no employers,
Now,
no customers. I mean,
I don't fear AI, and it's because remember back in the day before cars, eh? So I don't know what you call these guys who makes the in Afrikaans you say the hoeven for the paarden. So they had to make the shoes for the horses because that was the form of transportation. And then when the industrial revolution came in, then they were like, no, job people are gonna lose their jobs and all of those kind of things they believe. And some didn't want to adapt, but those who adapted has made a fortune. Likewise, when it comes to when e-hailing came in, when Uber came in, taxis didn't want to adapt, but those who adapted quickly, they took part of the growth. So now, hundreds of, in fact, more than 1,000-fold more jobs were created through the industrial revolution. Now, likewise, when it comes to AI coming in, new jobs will actually emerge because now every business basically needs, for instance, content creators. Creating content, basically marketing, etc. And a person can actually learn that from basically not even having to have a degree. That's why it's so risky actually signing up for a 5-year degree because you don't even know whether this job will exist
Exactly.
in 5 or 6 years. So yes, as much as AI has negativity, but it creates new opportunities, new jobs, and if like I have young people coming to me and say, you know what, I want to be a gamer, but our parents are not ready for that conversation.
No.
Like, what? A gamer? So you want to play game all your life? Is that what you want to do? Are you a joke? But
you know, I've looked at a lot in the past couple of years. These guys who are autistic,
yeah,
they when cartoons started coming out on TV, when phones started coming out, and you didn't need these guys anymore. They draw. But the gap in the market has been tapped into. Those guys are now tattoo artists.
yeah.
And that market is growing.
Sure. We were just
Who would have
talking about
thought-
someone
would have
flying
thought-
over the all over the country on a weekly basis. A tattoo artist.
Just doing that.
Yeah. And
Like-
people are flying him all over the country.
And it's amazing because who would have thought, man? I'm not a tattoo person. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
I also,
I'll
my
never,
personal belief,
I'll never do it. But
Yeah.
I just see that there's, for someone else, there's an opportunity, and they're willing to take the opportunity. Cutting hair, 10 years ago,
Yeah.
who would have thought it's such a big thing now? Because
Yeah.
you used to cut your hair once every 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Now you cut your hair every week.
Yeah, my barber comes here every week. If
So-
I have time, I would go.
So there is we need to get. I think we need to just see that there's a transition, man. From one factor to the next. How are we gonna move from here to there? Because in between something is happening.
Yeah.
Are we gonna stay here? Or are we gonna move till there?
Yeah.
You just mentioned it now.
Yeah.
AI taking over.
Yeah.
It might not be. You spoke about the industrial revolution. Is AI gonna be the new industrial revolution? Is it gonna take over from there? But are we prepared to move over?
To move.
If we look,
Yes.
people are making money now on YouTube.
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
It's everything to do with it. Now are we prepared to move over? I'm not a fast mover when it comes to AI and technology.
Sure.
But we have to.
Yeah.
If we want to stay on top of our games, we have to.
Attention is the new currency.
Yes.
Speaking about
Attention,
because we have the podcast, and most people don't look at the layer below that. Yes, as much as I'm doing this to bring awareness to our people about entrepreneurship, that on the tips on how to build businesses, how others have built businesses, and helping them. But I'm also getting paid for actually doing this. There are different ways on how to get paid for doing this. And there are other podcasters when I tell them, you know what, I see your work, and I say, yeah, it's just that I wish I could get paid for it. I'm like, it's just the mindset. You are doing the same thing I'm doing. You're not getting paid, but I'm getting paid. So what are you missing? Then I will share, obviously. But at the end of the day, there are so many new opportunities that actually opens up. One can go into a business now and say, you know what, I'm going to create content and I'm going to generate you X amount of leads. That's what I do. I have a couple of companies that I'm working with. Let's say they make 50K a month. I walk in there, tell them, I can double your monthly revenue. I take a percentage of that. What do you say? What entrepreneur is going to say no? I go in, do my thing. I double their income. I take 30% of the business that I bring in. They get 70% of my skill. I don't even have to start a business. I can just help them generate more sales, So there are so many opportunities coming in. But if we are wired based on the education that we got that has worked in the 1970s, then we're not going to be able
You're not going to
play
survive,
ball in this game. Because now we're playing in UEFA and you still wanting to play.
NAFA.
You gotta kill one today.
Yeah, no, we have to move with the times. As hard as it is, change is difficult for most people, but it's inevitable. It's going to happen whether you like it or not.
But the only thing that's constant is change.
It's the only thing. The change in your pocket is also constant.
Yeah, because things are forever changing. And that is what's so exciting about entrepreneurship. I mean, as much as you can predict, if you have every year, in February, it's Valentine's Day, and it's Mother's Day in May. Your sales are here, etc. So you can predict more or less how much you're going to make next year at that time. But at the end of the day, every month you're basically starting at zero. And most people can't take that. They can't take it. What? I can't start on zero. I want to sign a contract and promise me 5K per month. And then they would sign that contract instead of going on to entrepreneurship.
Which could give them,
you don't know,
100,000 in 2 months.
Yeah.
Like, I had a conversation now with someone about the retrenchment. You get a person who's 57. They don't want to be retrenched.
They can't afford to be retrenched.
No. If they give you a package,
okay,
they give you a package of, say for instance, your yearly salary is say 150,000.
Okay.
They give you a package of 600,000. You've got 3 years left to work. You could have earned 450.
Yes.
But now they're actually giving you 600.
Yes.
You're throwing away 150 and you are forcing yourself to go for 3 years to work where you would have gotten that for free. Does it make sense? But that is how we are cultivated.
Yeah. It's the mind.
The mind.
It's the mind.
Afraid of what's going to happen outside.
Yeah.
Who knows? You might end up doing something that no one thought of.
Yeah.
You're retrenched now. A lot of people got retrenched and they bounced back starting this. And they made something of it.
Yeah.
But we're afraid of the unknown. Yet every day is unknown.
Yeah. There's no promises.
There's no guarantee. Nothing is guaranteed.
When I started this podcast, I never knew it's gonna do what it's doing now. And I had people when they learn, hey, this podcast is actually generating an income. They're like, but how much am I gonna make? I'm like, no, there's no guarantee. It depends on how you're gonna do it, what you're gonna do. There are many ways, etc. But if I could guarantee a person, um, then I would be lying. So now most will rather not do it. They would rather do something where they actually have a guarantee. I sell this perfume, I make $50 on it. I'm guaranteed that $50. Um, but obviously, in terms of entrepreneurship, there's no stopping. What I want to speak about is creating. Now, currency. Currency is obviously, or money is selling your skill and your time. Okay? So then you get paid with currency. So I like creating systems. So I sell my skill and my time, but it's not only going to pay me now. It's going to pay me going forward. So like in the sense of when it comes to perfume, yes, I've sold to you once, but now I'll put the system in place. After a week or two, I will call you, tell you how's the product. Okay, know the product is good. Maybe a month after that, a WhatsApp, my conversation, etc. It will come out. Hey, I didn't know what are we klaar. Ek moet nou weer opstok. There's a system. So instead of selling once and then it's done, you build a system that from that one sale, it will forever pay you going forward. And if people can start realizing that, as much as you need to eat now, some of the time it's fine in the skill, but work on the side, whether it's a side hustle or a system, and build it slowly but surely. It increases, and if you do it right for long enough, then it will pay you more than selling your time. Like in your case, like in my case, like in so many others, like almost all of the guests that came on this podcast. So, but there is no guarantee.
There's no guarantees.
But the contract that you get, there's also not a guarantee because they will, even though you sign for 5 years, there's clause in there. If things change in the company, we terminate this contract.
Like what we experience is new players in the game. So now we sell it at a certain price.
Okay.
We already only a fraction of what the other guy is selling it.
Yes.
So now there's someone comes in and he does it at even less.
Yeah.
But remember now, the guy that we cut had a certain quality.
Yes.
All we did was what? We dropped the quality a little bit, change the packaging, and we give it. Now someone else comes in, if he wants to go lower, he has to drop his quality a bit,
Yes.
change his packaging. Now you get a situation where someone comes.
Fly by nights.
Yes. Then you get your customer moves to a cheaper brand,
Yeah.
but they don't get what they used to get with you.
Yes.
They end up coming back.
Sure.
Why? Because they made the change,
Yeah.
but wasn't worth their while.
Yes.
So they decide to go back. And we've had a lot of those cases where
I can
someone
imagine.
would say,
Yeah, definitely.
"Nah, I know. What's the name?" I say, "No, man.
Yeah.
It was your money at the end of the day. You
Yeah.
decided to go there. It wasn't for me to stop you.
Yeah.
You had to go there to see that hey, it wasn't going to be worth your while, and you came back."
But in a decade, I have never come across this quality at this price.
No,
People can't even
people-
differentiate between the real one and the inspired one, because at the end of the day, but that goes. There's brilliance when it comes to the creating of it. that yeah, but I mean, in a decade, or in fact, for more than a decade, I'm only involved for a decade, but yeah, this system has really been oiled. It's I wouldn't say there isn't competition, but those who think there are competition aren't actually competition because either they have to sacrifice on the quality, or they basically have to in terms of they are not being able to get the same service because what if something goes wrong with a nut, then those that you save a 5 rand, but now you can't exchange it because. But when it comes to this, should which it doesn't happen every day, but in the rare occasion that it happens, then you can always have peace of mind and know that you know what I can have it
You
replaced.
solved.
Yeah, well said. Then there are obviously people watching this as we are gonna wrap up now, that need some more of your wisdom. Any last comments before we go?
My only thing is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to take the risk. It's a risk. Anything we do in life, it's risks. So don't be afraid to take the risk.
Yeah.
A saying I'd always use is nothing ventured, nothing gained. If you don't put yourself out there, you're not going to know what is out there. If you don't allow yourself to experience something, you're never going to have the experience.
True.
Just a small thing like with my kids at school. They have a different experience of matric. They go to Thailand. They don't have a matric farewell ball.
Yeah.
It's a different experience.
Sure.
They never ever get to experience what I've experienced.
Yeah.
But I also didn't get to experience what they're experiencing.
Sure.
It's just different experiences. If you don't put yourself out there, you're never going to have the experience. So I would advise anyone and everyone, if you want to do something, remove the element of fear. There's nothing that anyone can do to you
In fact,
if
sculpture,
you've put yourself out there.
yeah, sculpture says it like 365 days for every day. Do not fear, and it repeats it for a specific reason because it's part of us.
Yeah, so go out there, no fear.
Getting over the fear. So I firmly believe, obviously, that we are all taking a risk. We just get comfortable with taking that risk. That is why we don't fear that anymore. Because as entrepreneurs, we became so comfortable at taking a risk. Getting a job is like, if we were off camera, I would say, "Ek is in Mali."
No,
But we are on
definitely.
camera now, so we won't say that.
If you look at the billionaires of today, those guys took risks.
Yeah.
They went bankrupt
Yes.
and they took risks again.
Yes.
Why?
Because that is what they know, and they become comfortable with that taking
Yes.
risks. But
You can start with, they've all started with nothing.
yes,
So what does it take you to get back to nothing?
100%.
Only a risk.
Only risk. Now you know. I don't want this to be misunderstood. Obviously, to start a business like this would cost $400 to start. So you need to start somewhere. So there's nothing wrong with being in that phase of having the job. Nothing wrong with it, because that will then finance other stuff that you want to do. So I would always work. Even when I had my Uber cars, I started as an Uber driver. I didn't have my own car. Then I made a bit of money, got my own fleet of Uber cars. I would tell my Uber drivers, guys, this is how you do it. This, within 6 months, you should be able to buy your own car. In the line of work that I am now, I would say, position yourself. You can start your own photography business, for instance, or a videography business. I show exactly what I do. So, should you choose to do that forever and not take other risks, it's all up to you. But it's just that often, in most cases, you would have to take a different kind of risk to get to where you want to be. But you will also get used to taking that risk. and then it will be like a no-brainer. Then you will know that what you thought is security is actually taking a bigger risk.
Look, I've got a friend takes big risks. Big risks. Like the other day, he just told me, no, he's done with the project. The project is done now. I said, is it nice and relax now for the rest of it? I said, no, man, what's your next project? Yes, Timmy bro, kom in no so aan. I said, yeah, ek weet mos.
I know you.
You don't stop.
Yeah.
You carry on all the time. That is your driving.
Yeah, that's
Puts
what
himself
keeps you.
into situations where the normal person would think, is this
How do you
person
get yourself there?
is he crazy?
Mm.
And then he comes out on top.
Yeah.
And then who gets to enjoy that?
Yeah,
Him.
the fruit of his labor.
But the risks,
I've started businesses with people, and I've seen, or people watching this have started things, and they it didn't work out for them, and now
they'll never
they,
do it again.
like when I started in crypto, myself and my friend, we took a risk. It didn't work out at that point of time. He got out, even though I gave him back the money that he's lost, but in his mind, he can't get over it. I've stayed in the industry for a decade. Everyone can see how my life has changed from struggling Uber driver
Popcorn.
yeah, I started there. So in fact, that person was involved in that project. It didn't work out for them 10 years ago, but they can't get over that in here. There are people watching this that have maybe tried something, or they've heard of someone trying entrepreneurship, but they failed. Just that fear, they can't get over it. What do you say to that person who can't get over the fear? Because I'm currently reading Job, né? So Job loses everything, and still he says, he praises God, and he says, I came here with nothing, and out of this life I'm gonna go with nothing. Maybe I'm gonna cut this out. I don't know. I'm gonna see how I feel. But I've had days where I lost 2 bars in 1 month. Like I could say in one day, like 2 million in a day. It almost paralyzed me the first time, but when it happened the second time, I was like, I'm just gonna bounce back. What do you say to a person who's paralyzed through a risk?
I wouldn't know what to say, because I've never been paralyzed. I've been was al ritas geskiet al en
how do you bounce back?
That is just my drive and my determination, because I've seen the fruits, man. Why give up now? You can't give up on something that you believe in based on other people's perception. Because most of what we do is we worry about what other people think, how other people's gonna see us. Lucian het nou die groot huis gehad. Had hy nou niks, ja, bly hulle nou weer in 'n hok. That if you're gonna stay in dog, that's your problem.
Yeah.
But you can say to yourself, I come from here, I've gone till there, I've come back till here. So what
Getting back there will be much quicker.
What is saying to me that I can't get there again?
Sure.
Fear.
Yeah.
Fear of losing something that you didn't have before. So just you need to change the mindset of I've fallen. Yes, I've fallen, but I need to get up. For who do you get up? You get up for your family. If you're alone, yes, I understand why you stay crippled, because you've got no other responsibility. But when you've got responsibility, you know what you're working towards.
Sure.
We took on a project one day. We had Casper West over, I think it was Splash Festival.
Okay.
At which beach was it? They were Wells.
Wells Estate? Okay.
Wells Estate. It was promised it was gonna be like this. We were gonna sell chicken and chow boa.
Yeah. This
There was
was now
100
before
people.
your perfume days.
No, after.
Okay,
No,
okay.
long into. We bought thousands of rands worth of chow. Others bought thousands of rands worth of liquor to sell on a day. There was 100 people. There were securities. The whole place was like a normal, like you would have at the stadium, the securities. Everything was like at the stage.
There are more staff than people.
You had Casper on the stage. You're telling me that 100 people could have paid for him? No. It was a flop. It was a massive, massive flop. We got up, dust ourselves off, sold whatever we could sell, but recoup whatever we could, whatever we didn't, we lost. But it's part of the journey. You need to take the risk in order to see there's a reward. But if you don't take the risk, you'll never see the reward.
Sure.
So only after the risk, there's a reward. You can't see it. It's like a war. Risking is getting through the wall.
Sure.
On the other side of the wall is the reward. So if you don't want to see what's the reward, then don't take the risk.
Sure. Shane, thank you so much for your time. Family, if you've been watching up until now, that means you love what you have learned here. So please, if you want to see another video of us, do subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. However, it helps the channel grow. And if you want to be part of this network of distributing perfumes, do go to the link in the description, lucian.com/agent, and you'll go through the screening process and then potentially become part of this network. Shane, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. What's the experience?
I think when you started with your podcasts, I do watch it and honestly,